Hello to all of my dreamers and welcome back to the channel. Excuse my hair, girl. It's early in the morning and I just took a shower, so I will brush my hair later. We are finally back with some more DPR Ian content. I know it has been so long since I've checked him out. There's been so many groups that are recommended and everything, and but we're finally back with him. Not with new music, but we are doing some like interview stuff. We have 3 videos. Typically when I hit like 5 or 6 videos that I've done on an artist, I want to like check out a guide or something. Because he's not K-pop, he doesn't really have like that typical K-pop guide. So I just decided, let me just do some interview stuff, kind of have fun with it. So we have this one, which is very short. It's just a random questions. I briefly looked at it, and these are very random questions. These don't really have anything to do with anything, but they're just fun. He looks very good. This was a year ago, and then we have this one, which is 7 minute from SBS. This is DPR Eon on how the inhumane K-pop industry intensified his dissociative identity disorder. This is sort of one aspect of him that I don't really know about. I'm not an expert on DID. I just know generally what it's about. And so I think that this video would be very educational. And then last up we have this one, which is longer, 23 minutes, which is DPR Ian's journey from B-boy to K-pop to the Billboard 200, which is on the Billboard channel. Now, some of these might be blocked, some of these might be, the whole video might get blocked, I don't really know. So whatever gets blocked, whether it's part of it or all of it, it will be available on Patreon for free. Be aware of that. And we're just gonna get into it. I'm very excited. Before I do forget though, be sure to read the pinned comment down there because I'm planning another special video and asking you guys for more recommendations, of course. If you missed the last one, or if you just got some more recommendations, be sure to check out the post on there, read the guidelines, all that good stuff. I'm very excited. If you've been around a while, you may know what it is, but if not, you will just have to wait and see. It'll be posted towards the end of the month. Yeah, we are going to make me some coffee because it's the first video I'm recording for today and I'm thirsty. So let's see what the magical wheel brings us. I'm not craving anything in particular. And we got butter toffee. This is a pretty good one. So I will go make that. Of course, you guys will come with me and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. I got my coffee, brushed my hair, all that good stuff. Very good, very yummy. And for today, I'm wearing just this like simple silver glitter. And honestly, this is probably the last video that you're going to see this in. Because girl, she is on her last legs, that's for sure. But anyway, let us finally get into this. Like I said, if anything gets blocked, I apologize. Or if the whole video is blocked, then I apologize. But if little parts of it gets blocked, then they will be available for free on Patreon. Link is always in the description. So let's get it. 1 minute random questions with DPR Ian.
Hey, what's up, ELLE Singapore? This is DPR Ian, and I'm here to answer
Girl.
some of your random questions. Let's go. Werewolves or vampires? Definitely werewolves. Yeah. Werewolves. What do I love the most about
I would probably choose werewolves too.
I think it's definitely the fact that I get to interact with the people that love what I do. You know, I think that's a big blessing and an honor in itself. So
it looks so good.
Yeah, definitely that. So I do have a truth or a lie, but I won't tell you which one's the truth or the lie. So it's, I like blueberries. That's it. That's the spin.
Okay.
For some reason, I always spin. So I think every time I have like a little pocket of, I have a little moment for me to just do something. I guess we call it a filler. I love to spin. I don't know why. I've been doing that ever since I was a kid, so spinning. Everyone should own a lipstick from NARS because, you know, you'll get a kiss like that. Thank you so much, ELLE Singapore, for having me. And make sure to check out our concert that we're having here on the 12th of December. See you there. Love you all.
Oh, he's so beautiful. Hold on. He's so cute. Oh my god. That was fun, cute. Just a simple little 1-minute video. Random questions. Very fun. A little bit of his personality in there. And now we're going to get to more of like interview stuff. So longer interview stuff. This one is 7 minutes. English Australia. Thank you. Okay. Hold on, let me refresh because I changed my captions. I don't know why they changed
actually
back.
me switching, me acting. Because you feel it. You know when you're going to switch because you feel it. I can't do it on command.
DPR Ian is one of the few Australians selected to become K-pop idols. He launched from a life of music and metal in Australia's Wollongong to idol stardom when he moved to Korea and was scouted to join the hugely successful K-pop group C-Clown. He's now independent and creating a new blueprint for the industry. I did briefly look at the comments DPR,
and
the dream.
People were commenting. C-Clown was definitely not hugely successful, so let's just say that.
Perfect Regime Collective and his videos, which he edits himself because the guy can do everything, amass millions of views. But it's been a whole ride to get here.
Yes.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
I'm really interested in like your determination to move to Korea and that period of your life. What was your life in that? Like, were you planning? Like, how did you prep for that?
You know, at that time I was like, I better really just take a plane and head over to Korea. No plans, and I just told my mum, I'm going. And she's like, just get into uni first. So I got into uni, but then my mum was like, you got to save money yourself. I did a gig handing out pamphlets at the time.
Oh, the promotional gigs?
Yes.
Yeah, I've done those.
You've done those?
100%.
They like, you did that too? Oh my lord.
Yeah.
I mean, the money's
like
great.
handing out, I
can't believe you did that too. Yeah, it's weird. I remember one term it was like a chocolate, and I had to dress up as a chocolate.
Was it like a bar? Chocolate bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was avoiding any eye contact with people that I knew.
Yep.
Luckily, I got the money saved up and went to Korea. And it was a rough journey because I didn't know nothing about Korea. And I remember like the first few months, I got
oh my goodness,
scammed,
that's awful.
Lost all my money, and I had to stay at these, you know, these saunas. You don't sleep there, like you don't stay there, but I had to stay there because I didn't want to tell my mum that I failed in the first 3 months of going there. Because I told her, I was like, I'm gonna get a job, and she's like, if nothing happens in the 2 months, you have to come back. I scouted on the street and, you know, went into the trainee days, idol days. Yeah.
So you managed to like stay a couple more months, and those months were like the opportune months that kind of changed your life.
Apparently so.
Yeah, this is how the word plays. Yeah, this is how the word plays.
Immediately they put me into the training rooms. I met all the other trainees and all that. You know, it was a bit weird, eh?
What's up, everyone? We are C-Clown!
And what was the training schedule like?
For us back in the days, very strict. Wake up like 5, head to the studio, practice. If you're late a minute, you have to kneel on the floor and you have to sit in the corner, like time out. And you'd go back home like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and then you just repeat that throughout the whole week. It's a lot better now, that's what I hear. But back in 2010s, 12s, it was like at its peak era of like, you have slave contracts, you know, it's just so shady, but getting like the backhand of that just did something to me. So
It's a grueling, pretty like intense process.
It's oh man, I thought it was inhumane, but you know, but that's literally the life that you know.
It kind of is inhumane, like it's
well,
awful.
A lot of people really want kind of that.
Oh my god, they don't know. See, I didn't know that either. Like you don't know what that gruesome and grueling side of that.
And it's like you hear stuff about it, but even just hearing about it nowadays, you still don't think, like you still don't know truly how bad it is.
It means it's an immediate success, which is not the case. But you have all these other hidden layers of groups that don't even make the cut line, and there's about 100 of them.
Don't waste your tears.
You've chatted a bit about your bipolar and your dissociative identity disorder. For people who don't understand that experience, how would you explain it to them?
Well, I don't even know where to start. For example, DID, it's like disassociating yourself. So it's kind of like waking up in a new body, new mind, new likes, new dislikes. It's kind of living with, I think, another you that is completely separate from who you identify as a person. For me anyway, personally, I never really get a choice of when that takes a turn. And you just keep going back and forth from that person. Like, if you decide not to show people your most vulnerable side, you would have a choice to not show it.
Right, I see what you're saying.
But I never really got a chance to not show it. I would switch out, just like, I would all of a sudden be, I'll be like doing something like as somebody else.
Yeah.
And it would feel like when I come back, I wouldn't really understand what I did or who I was or none of that. So it would be unbelievable.
I saw that music video, it was so good.
I knew what I was doing when I started naming it.
His name is Mido.
Mido.
You should never just name your personas or your alters. That gives it so much more power. But the thing is, for people that are going through it, you can't tell them not to do that. So the first time I showed Mido to the world was a music video called So Beautiful. That's actually me switching. That's not me acting. Because you feel it. Like, the reason is you know when you're going to switch because you feel it. It's not, I can't do it on command. Now, what happens with DID is if you can't associate yourself with an emotion and it's something that you want to go further away from, you would create an area in your mind that you would run to. It's okay in the beginning, but the more and more you're faced with trauma, like the minute you feel it, you're out. So it's no longer like, I'm gonna go back. It's like your body's immediate response to just open the door and kick you out. Because I didn't know that. So I didn't know that during my idol days. I just thought this is the only way I can cope with it. Like the only way. So I just kept doing that.
Well, you have like DPR now.
Yes, I do apparently.
No. Apparently.
Same.
Good to know. What do you want to take from that experience?
I think being an idol taught me like what I shouldn't do. There wasn't really an independent show for like artists because we had to follow a systematical
format. System?
Yeah, in order for us to make it or get there. But I wanted to break that. I just wanted to show people that you could be very genuine with what you do artistically and still have an audience.
My name's DPR and I'm back home. Thank you guys.
That's crazy. I had not really heard much about C Clown. I know that he doesn't like to talk about it or he doesn't like to go back to that place, and I absolutely understand that. Like I can't even imagine like what he went through, especially like typically, at least the trainees that are from Korea and they speak the language and they generally know the culture. Maybe they don't necessarily know what it's like to be in an idol contract, but you know, it's like you still have your family generally, maybe sometimes. I mean, depends on your contract, but I mean, moving to an entirely different country, not knowing the language, not knowing the culture, and just winging it, that's hard already. But then being instantly thrown into like sort of like an idol slave called contract, like I can't even imagine how difficult that was. Like it is extremely traumatizing. Now he's here. He really is. So yeah, that was very nice. Very educational. So very interesting. It's always nice to learn more about him, especially as, like I said, I don't know everything about his disorder or anything like that. So now we're going to move on to this one, which is from Billboard. Let's get it. This one's definitely longer, so...
Hello and welcome to Billboard. My name is Jeff Benjamin and I'm here in Seoul to bring you guys a very special interview. We're going to be talking to DPR today, an artist who truly defines the crossover. thank you for talking with us. Get comfortable.
Very comfortable. Look at this chair.
You've crossed from b-boying
Yes.
to K-pop. You've crossed countries from Australia, Korea. You know,
Multitudes
Also
of
interesting to
countries,
learn that he was a B-boy. That's kind of crazy.
In the U.S.
Right.
You've even crossed professions, you know,
Right.
going from rap-oriented
Right.
singing, video
videos.
editing, visuals.
Wow, that is quite a lot. Having it laid out all like that, it really puts a lot of things into perspective. For me, it's like I've just really been on the run, on the fly, and I haven't really been able to process a lot of these things, and it's been quite the journey.
You know, tell me what you're comfortable with, because I'm never sure if I should call you Christian or Ian or DPR.
Too many names. You could call me anything.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm called anything now. No, I'm just kidding. No, literally, like you just said, you pointed out there's so many errors I've been through. Pertaining to those errors, I think that's where a lot of the names came out of. So without even me knowing, like Rome was from my C Clown days, you know.
Right.
And then it goes into Christian, which was the videography days, and now it's Ian. So I guess, you know, Ian is perfect, yeah.
Because I guess, who were you in those early days that shaped you musically?
I always
Right.
call
those
artists, idols, whatever,
musical inspirations
by their
in
stage
Australia.
name, whatever that current
Goodness
stage
me.
name is.
So I think, obviously
so
back then in
I
Australia,
call him Ian.
my name was Baron. That's my Korean name, like Pardon, right? So I think I was exposed to music at a pretty early age. And I still remember my
So
dad
cute.
bought me a birthday gift, I believe. He bought me the first music CD that I was, and back then obviously we had CD players. So,
What CD was it?
so the CD was Daft Punk, and it was Discovery.
That's exciting.
And I still remember it. It was a bit of a shocker because the first song, like One More Time, when that hit, and I was just like, I was like, wow, what is this? So I just kept repeating it, just like the song itself says, One More Time.
Right. Daft Punk is a pretty cool first album.
Oh
you know?
my goodness! Back then I didn't even know.
Most people in our era, I think, were like, you know, Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
and Britney
Spice Girls.
Spears.
Yeah, and I love Spice Girls, by the way. Yeah, so.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah. I've listened to a lot of progressive music, you know, like whether that be Daft Punk or, you know, Moby or...
You're a Moby fan just like me.
Oh, you're a Moby fan?
Yeah.
Amazing. I just love the progression of having each instrumental just kind of coming in and just really defining the sound layer by layer. I think that's what really was a kickstart to my, I guess you could say, musical aspirations and stuff, yeah. And I think essentially that's also where I picked up the idea of character. Character development, you know, when you're on stage and as opposed to who you are in your real day world and your real day life, or the real you could be on stage and vice versa. And I always found that very entertaining because you can literally be whoever and whatever you want to be.
You know, one of the first characters that I think we might know you for would be your YouTube channel.
Right, B-Boy BU, right? This was right around the cusp
crazy.
of finishing my high school years. And I was a good grade A student up till year 11. I went rogue after that. I was like, you know what, I don't need any of this. I'm just gonna dance my heart out, you know. So I think that was a very interesting period of time. I think it was just something I needed to use
What
as
year
a
was he
venting.
born? Hold on. 1990. Okay, he's 35.
Like a ventilation, I guess you could say. Even the ideals of a b-boy is having a stage name where you can call yourself or people can know you for. That's how you would be identified as when you go on stage. So my one was B-Boy BU. Shout out to my mum. My mum was the one that thought about this. And BU was, at the time, Baramu, which was U is my last name.
Really?
She's like, be you, right? And BU, be yourself.
Yes.
And it was just a perfect motto to go by. So I think from an early age, my mum also ingrained the idea of like, don't apologize for being yourself. So I kind of made that a statement.
You eventually debut in the K-pop scene in boy band C Clown.
Yes, I do.
Again, a new persona for you.
Yes.
Especially the fact that your name was Rome at the time. Who was Rome in this character world of yours?
That's wild. It's just, it's so weird to see.
I am Korean, but you know, I don't know too much about Korea culturally, which was why it was the first place I wanted to go to when I finished school, was to learn a lot more about my ethnicity and culture. And in doing so, was plopped into the K-pop scene. What a way to learn, eh?
Of all places, yeah.
Oh my God, it was just blunt force, you know. So Rome was a name that kind of symbolized and was meant to represent strength and leadership. And I think that does come from the Spartans and the Rome idea back in the days, you know, how it was just all tough training. And I've always somewhat correlated K-pop with something that you had to really battle your way through it. And you know, it's kind of like a fish eat fish world, and as most places are, but K-pop especially. So I think Rome was a representation of someone I needed to be in order for me to face my fears, go through hard times, and not only that, but also maintain some type of relationship and balance and peace amongst your team. Because carrying that type of role, it's almost burdensome. But someone has to do it, you know, so that's kind of what I always told myself.
I haven't heard the song yet, but next time I check him out, I definitely want to do more music. And I am going through his discography fully, like from the beginning, so...
Early, mid-2015,
I'll get the whole experience, you know?
You made some moves on your social medias.
Oh, yeah.
Changing your social media name to your name, Christian Yu.
Yeah.
I remember specifically the bio/description you changed, and, and I wrote it down so I didn't forget. They turned me into something I am not. Never forget what I did for you.
Wow. Oh, my God. Where'd you find that?
Oh, come on.
Where'd you pull that out of?
This is the crossover. We are crossing paths.
Holy smokes, man.
Changing the name feels like a big move. But also, I think the fact that you having your own social media gave you a bit of power that maybe you might have not had come
before
2012 or earlier than that. So.
You're right. And it all kind of stems back to be you, B-boy, be you, being yourself, right? So quite ironically, I was myself, even when I was in the C Clown days. But you know, the K-pop scene, obviously you're more, I guess, propelled to being a product of someone else's curation. And just me personally, I need to do it myself. I need to make, you know, if it's the music or if it's the dance or if it's the visuals. So for me, I think personally, I had a bit of a hard time doing that, which is why that statement came out. You know, they're trying to make me something that I'm not. You know, granted, the experiences were absolutely great, great and bad, by the way, but I don't regret it a single bit because it does shape you to who you are going to be and who you are at that present time. I think Rome was it was actually the most important process and step to becoming Christian Yu. Once I guess I was ready, Christian Yu had to come out.
Because, you know, after that, you move on, you meet the DPR guys, you guys start building the first big music video projects I remember seeing your name specifically attached to. It's like Bobby from Icon's Hold Up video, you know, from Winners. Bobby, Taeyang's Wake Me Up.
Oh, yes.
And I remember you're credited as plus Ian, you know, parentheses DPR.
Yes.
This is the beginning of that
I've heard of Bobby from Icon. I've heard a couple of his things. He's very cool.
This. You're one of the co-founders.
It was originally...
At least his music is. I don't know much about him.
So D was director. That was the original acronyms. People keep asking me, well, why was it pink? You know, I do like pink, right? But essentially, it's a color that I kind of always saw in my dreams. But later on, after I started adopting the name Christian, Christian was a name that really I had actually as more or less as a kid, other than Baron. So you know how it's plus Ian. Christian being Christ, the Christ as in the cross, because I believe in the higher power, and that was the Christ and then Ian. Interesting that you caught that.
That's crazy. I never caught that. That's cool.
Mood Swings in This Order
yes.
is that first record that not only introduces us to DPR Ian,
yes.
but introduces us to characters like Mido, Mr.
Yes.
Insanity,
Mr. Insanity, yes.
And also opening up about your, your own mental health
yes.
experiences,
yes.
bipolar.
Yes.
I understand you're bipolar 1, which
yes,
is
that's correct. A little bit more radical of a form. Yes, shorter periods, bigger bursts.
I think artists, especially maybe even those from the idol world,
yes.
it's tough to open up to the media about it, but you're very open about it.
The less we communicate, the more problems arise in the world. And I think the more nonchalantly you talk about it, as if you talk about what you're going to eat, you know, and what favorite food you have, the more you expose more of a less of a serious thing everyone has to kind of perceive it as.
Yeah.
It is a serious topic. I'm not
Normalizing
saying
it.
it's not. But how people can perceive it is all based on perspective. This is just personal, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
But especially in media, they portray just mental health in general, but especially things like bipolar disorder or DID or like schizophrenia and stuff. They always portray it as something that's so scary, so dangerous, so harmful. And it's like, why? You know? When there are so many people who, it's not like it's some crazy rare phenomenon. Like it's something that happens to so many people, and we all are living our lives going through the best we can. And I think it's great that he's sort of being like, yeah, just talk about it like what you're gonna eat for dinner, you know? Like it's not that serious. Like, of course it is serious, the mental struggles and stuff, but it's not like something you gotta be scared of. Like, it's just relax, you know?
Just earning my sorrows into pure gold, and I laugh inside, cause you won't know I was here from the moment the light showed.
Making these characters my own insanity that represents my manic lows or my manic highs can be portrayed as a superhero to me, you know. And for me, seeing it in that light also reassured me that I could coexist with this indefinitely. And I think that's kind of the message that I want to bring across. I don't have all the answers to everyone's problems, but at the end of the day, I do want to be someone that can represent you when you are going through something. And if it remotely even can touch base with you on any level, then you know, I'm doing my job. So that's essentially it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a comfort for sure, you know,
Yes.
and you know, these stories continue on through Mood Swings Into Order, the first full length, but also your first Billboard 200 entry.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was. And and
It's like, really, I didn't
don't know
know.
if you would have remembered this, but I shared it, you know, with your fans on Twitter at the time.
Twitter, yes,
You just
yes.
wrote, that's crazy, with like a little crying, happy face, you know, emoji.
No, I was over the moon for that too, yeah.
And I guess, you know, again, I want to give you so much credit because this independent movement, these stories that are so personal to you, this music that is so personal to you, you know, how does it feel to kind of see that recognition in that way?
It's interesting that you asked. I've never really expected any of that as I was starting this. Even if it
Must be what
affects
the
one
next things
person,
that I'll
and if
check
it's
out
enough
from
to
him.
change one person's world and for the better, then that was enough for me. For the longest time, I felt like I had somebody else inside me. And I wanted to give more meaning, more substance. And if you're going to do it, you got to do it. You got to go 200%, or you just don't do it at all.
It pays off, right? It's nice to see that recognition in that way. And,
yes, forever grateful, by the way.
Yes, well, of course. And you know, it's 2021, Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings, the album. You took part in it with a track on it.
Ooh.
Because that album also hit a number 160 on the Billboard 200. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, again, it's you and a ton of artists on there, DJ Snake, 88.
Okay, I'm going to do 4 songs next time. I'll do Avalon, Merry-Go, Ribbon, and Winterfall. And then the time after that, I'll do Calico, Mr. Insanity, Ballroom Extravaganza, and Sometimes I'm. So that's what I have next.
You know, a ton of diversity.
I'm very excited because definitely want to hear more music from him.
BB and Mark Twain are on there, and interesting names on there. So it was a cool track like Diamonds and Pearls, which I felt the Beatles references.
Never know if what she wants is possible.
You know, you make some very obvious Beatle references.
Yeah. I thought the song was about boba. You know the bubble tea. And when I first got it, I just thought the diamond tea pearls, because you know pearls in your drink.
That's so funny.
But I just thought that's an interesting thing to think about. Maybe you know, maybe we're all living in a when we were all living in a pearl.
My mind didn't go there, but I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
That's good. That's good. That's
now
normal.
I'm going to listen to the song in a different way.
Okay.
Movies,
Bubba.
Marvel, cinematic soundtracks, you know, these huge things. You know,
we're expanding.
We're not just talking about 10 people here. This is a really big production that way. Did you approach a movie track differently than maybe a...
Oh goodness. Yeah. Speaking of, I think ordeal of our universe is very in line with the cinematic orchestras and the cinematic OSTs.
I think I got my sight for you.
I think I've probably mentioned that as well, just how cinematic it is, how just it's a whole production.
For me, in the long run, I do want to eventually break into the cinema movie line, create our own OSTs and scores. You know, that's going to happen. You know, that is going to happen. I'm already planning that for the next 2 years, actually.
Oh.
So yeah, that's a bit of a secret there.
The Regime World Tour is a huge success, and I say this. There were people coming to me saying, "These are real numbers, like real great audiences."
Let me know if any of y'all
really
went
strong
on that tour.
Yes.
Touring is difficult. Like touring is really difficult.
My God.
Because I give a lot of credit, and you guys didn't just, you know,
where did they go?
Really, these are real success, and I say
Houston, Dallas. They went to Atlanta. I don't know why I said they, but they went to Atlanta. Well, I guess DPR, the regime, like it's everyone. Boston, New York, Chicago. Yeah. The only two places close to me were Atlanta and Chicago, and both of them are 6.5 hours away. So that's pretty much, I know it's not K-pop, but typically that's where K-pop goes, is either Atlanta or Chicago. So the closest that anyone has ever come to me was when Card went to Louisville. So that was exciting.
Real great audiences.
But typically they don't come anywhere near. Rolling Chorus is going to Nashville, but I can't go.
Like, touring is really difficult.
My God.
Because
Nashville and Knoxville.
And you guys didn't just, you know, do
and
an LA
Cincinnati,
show,
girl.
do a New York
All
show.
places
you
are like
guys went
pretty
out
close
there.
to me, but I can't
and
go.
46 cities.
So sad.
If I'm correct, 46 cities.
On a personal level.
Yes.
What's that like for you? I've heard it can be difficult to go from the high of being on stage, you know, people loving your music, to being home alone at a...
No one warned me about that. No one warned me about like how if you get off your tour highs, you're just gonna plummet when you go home. So those resting periods, actually, I felt more lost than I've ever been. You know, because not having anything to look forward to briefly after that is what kind of deconstructs everything.
Maybe like Dear Insanity was the next thing you had to look forward to.
Actually,
after the tour.
Actually, funny enough, you say that. I did have the idea of what I wanted to do next was to introduce my highs now. The whole time I was on tour, I was just on a high, you know, just completely overly stimulated, and so I was like, you know what, it doesn't make sense that I have like this character that only represents these down, low times, when in fact I do have a lot of power when I go into the highs. And I always say though, when you're manically high, it's usually sometimes the most dangerous moment you can get into, because that's when you're the most spontaneous. Like, you know, you can go for like an Americano and then go for a cafe latte. But but no, initially I started developing the idea of Mr. Insanity during tour, but at the end of the tour, it died out because I wasn't that high anymore, that high from that tour. So I had to find a way to quickly bring that back. And I guess it's funny enough, just as a roller coaster would go, as I went down, I started peaking back up, and I started picking up the album again, and it just kicked off, and it was just like that, you know, Don't Go Insane and everything in between.
Stay by my side when the nightmare goes.
I just love his music in general, but his music videos are someone else.
But I laugh inside, just so you can glow in the dark when it's time for me. So just try.
You know, you've talked about how it's a bit of a sidetrack, you know, of the overall stories, you know, that you've been telling. But I noticed, that brightness. You know, talking about pink now, there's a little more.
Oh yes.
You know, there's purples and pinks, and
you hit it on the spot. Yeah, that's what it is. You got it. Yeah.
I love pink. Pink is my favorite color.
It also ends up on the Billboard 200. You hit a new peak as an artist. You had this great release party in New York.
Oh my God! Yeah, we had so much fun, by the way. Me and Jeff.
The moment that really resonated, and it was a beautiful night. You know, we were in this little movie theater, you got to unveil for the first time your visuals. That's when we saw Don't Go Insane.
Seriously, it means the world. I've never done something like this, but we should do this a lot more often. I'm rather enjoying this a lot. So thank you so much again. And it's time to get drunk responsibly now.
Drunk responsibly.
But at the end, and I don't know if this was a surprise for you, there's a whole montage of your collaborators, colleagues, family members, friends, you know, people giving you messages saying, you know, congratulations, you did it.
Yes.
And I thought that was.
I love that you pointed that out.
Really
that was my favorite. That was my favorite moment of the night. I always say there is absolutely no point in doing this alone. You know, there is absolutely no I in team. You know, for sure, unless you're spelling team completely differently. That's true to say. I think for me, it's more important that I'm doing with the people that I can cherish these moments with. Otherwise, I don't really see the point in doing this. You know, it's just as much as it is for the public. It is just as much of value for the people that you do it with. I think that's really where a lot of the magic stems from. Yeah.
Have you opened up more to collaborations?
The idea of collaboration.
Or is there anything on your bucket list, or
Absolutely.
are you still?
In the beginning, initially it was about more of bringing the characters to life. So it was it would have been a little weird to bring certain artists into that joint. But now, actually I am opening my doors to collaborations, and recently, after a long hiatus of directing other people's videos, DPR Plussing or Christian or Possing did make a comeback with the IU's video.
And action!
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I felt you were very excited about that project.
My goodness, yes. Excited, absolutely excited and exhausted, but excited. Yes, you're right.
And IU, right? Not someone we might expect a DPR collaboration.
I've heard of that group, but I've not
this
heard
is what I like. I like the idea
them.
of like you couldn't have called it, you know. And I'm always down for experimentation, you know. I love doing that with my food. You know, I love mixing things that
That's funny.
people might disagree with, but you know, at the end of the day, it does create something new.
Were you the kid like dipping his fries in his milkshake?
Oh, I mean, above and beyond. You know? I dip my tomato sauce in my milkshake. Sorry.
No.
You could edit that part out.
Wow, that's so unholy.
No, it's unholy. Yeah.
That's so funny. But it shows he's not afraid to try new things, which is good.
That you will always my do or die.
If there's one thing people should know about DPR is we're not afraid to open our doors to anything. It's really more about pioneering what's new and what's. It's not. I never really thought it was about following a certain trend. It's always about coming up with one.
What's coming up? What does the future look like?
I am planning to release an extension of an album called The Hybrid. And The Hybrid is part of the universe of The Other Side and Dear Insane and Mito. But it's a lot. It's literally what you would think if you were to mix those two characters. You know, what would you get? What kind of sonically and visually?
To close things off, you know, like I think your fans and what my hope is for, you know, this chat and this conversation is that they see you not just as the artist and I don't think they do only see you as the artist, but they see you as the human, they see you as someone worth protecting, they see you as someone they want to protect.
That really does feel comforting. You know, that's the one thing I did get from my fans is I have a huge pride with our fans, streamers. I feel like for us it's a very much a union, you know. So it's comforting one another, you know. And I think if we can establish that comfort zone, that safe zone. Or not even a safe zone. If it's like you know those rooms that people just break everything. Not to say you should do that to us, but I'm just saying. But
you will be that for them.
We will literally want to be that.
I see that.
And we take a huge pride with our fans. You know, we're so proud of them, and you know, hopefully it's vice versa. But no, we're absolutely over the moon, and we'll do anything for them. That's the whole reason why we're doing this. Yeah.
I broke down all my doors. Oh, do you see it now? Nothing was fixed at all.
Very exciting. Yeah, that was like so educational, and it was kind of like less about his mental health, whereas like the previous one was more about like how that worked, but more about his thought process and experimentation and stuff. And that was just really nice to hear from him. I just like hearing him speak about literally anything. Yeah, that was just really good. I'm so excited to hear more music from him. Definitely want to get to him again. I don't know if I'm getting to him next month, but let me see. Probably not. But that's okay. We'll get there eventually. I'm just very excited because he's genuinely so special, and I love how much he just says what he wants. You know, like he wants to share his experiences, and it's very important, you know? But yeah, that'll be pretty much it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you would like to go watch another one, you can go click on that one right there. You don't have to, but it's there if you want it. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye!